Alright, hello, all you beautiful people. So, as people were asking me yesterday in my stream, yes, I have seen the teaser trailers for the new fourth pads. Something I think they should have dropped these trailers during the conference, but you know, whatever. So, it's pretty interesting. These trailers are pretty cool, and they pretty much just like, alright, fourth pads are coming 7-8. Let's early next month, early July, a lot faster than I thought they would come out. But it seems they are going one by one. So we got Elboy here, and like the order is weird too, because like Eva's next and things like that. But anyway, whatever. So they're labeled as the Quattuor. That is not the name of the Elboy class, by the way. It's kind of like how, you know how Third Job had transformation, you see right here. So like Weapon Taker and all these other guys, they're called the transformation path. The Quattuor is the same. The Quattuor is the fourth path. All it means is 4, by the way. I think it's just Latin for 4, so not really. I like transformation a little bit better because that describes how these paths were. Like all of them like transform and give up something to get power. But this is the Quattuor, that just means 4. Yeah, but Elboy's path does look pretty cool. I'm getting big Solus vibes, really big Ain, Solus, kind of like Ishmael vibes from him. And apparently the next one is Eve. So something people got wrong before is that they thought Eve would come next month. That was something incorrect put on the website because the date is gone now. So I assume that means that it was incorrect and she's not coming next month. Maybe she might be coming sooner, maybe in 2 weeks instead of 4 weeks. I'm not sure, but everybody kind of jumped the gun and was like, oh my god, we're getting once a month. That's so crazy. I mean, we still might be getting once a month, but who knows. But yeah, here we go. The Quattuor begin. So what I wanted to do in this video is kind of go through each of the characters and kind of give my guesses onto what I think the fourth path will be. So yeah, let's just start it up. Okay, start it up at Elboy. They actually did translate the names for these paths, which is pretty cool, I think. So we got Root Knight, Sacred Templar, and whatever this third job is. So what I honestly think this job might all be about, I think he might be a more supportive class. If we look at him, right? So he has the L on his hand, and he looks like look at all these bandages and things like that. It looks kind of more defensive compared to everything else. Like his sword has like guard rings. You can see it a lot better in Sacred Templar. Look at it. The hilt is like extra magnified. It has like a shield thing on it, and the shield with the wings is like vindictive of like a paladin, a sort of like support kind of knight kind of thing. So I think that would work for Elboy. I think he would be more like kind of a tanky character, kind of like CC, like giving people super armor, giving people defenses. Maybe this thing can expand. This flying thing right here can expand into a type of shield, maybe. I definitely get that energy from him. Same thing with this guy. Great silhouette, great design, by the way. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. The halo here. I think it's gonna be the same thing. I think it's gonna be the same thing. And I think it's just gonna be expanded on this kind of like support, kind of paladin, like, and again, kind of like angel, you know, like a supportive angel kind of character. Yeah, that's my ideas for him. And he's gonna be magical, because these sword knight, Empire sword. Knight Emperor, excuse me, and Immortal are both physical, and Runemaster's really magical, so he's gonna be magical. Alright, so moving on next, we got Aisha. So for Aisha, we got one magical, one physical. So we're gonna need, this is gonna be a physical class. Aisha, I'm feeling the least confident about. I don't know what her style might be, but I think I think I may know the gameplay direction. I think they're gonna make a Aisha that's no support and 100% DPS, like, because we haven't had that for Aisha before. Like, you got close with like Metamorphy, who can like do DPS, and OZ, which at sporadic times can do DPS. But I'm talking about, but every Aisha has always had the capability to support in some way. But I'm talking about an Aisha that can only do DPS. How they would expand on that, like maybe she transforms her weapon into more like actual weapons, like maybe like an energy sword, or like a energy, like just random weapon. Maybe she just changes them to random weapons. I don't know, like a spear, an axe, things like that. I think maybe that'd be cool. That's my only hint for Aisha, is that I think they might do like a pure Aisha DPS class. She doesn't support at all. Because I think it'd be cool for Aisha to do that. She's never done that before. Next up, we got Rena here. So we got Physical and Amos, Magical Daybreaker, and Physical Twilight. So this is going to be a magical class. So I've thought of a couple different ideas for Rena. One of the things I thought about is maybe she's going to be like an Earth Mage, because like the whole wind kind of element thing has been done with like Daybreaker a lot, and the whole nature mage thing is kind of like Twilight and a little bit of Namos as well. So I think another element that elves at least are known for in like media are earth. So I think maybe she could be an earth mage. Another thing I thought of is just like maybe she could be a summoner. If you guys remember back in the old kind of Elder Dungeon, like I'm talking about like old Elder Dungeon in Southern Gate, the person that summons Nephilim is Chloe. Actually, Chloe summons Nephilim at the end of the cutscene. And I was just like, huh, okay, oh yeah, here you go. That's what she says when she summons it. So, you know, this obviously gives credence to the idea that elves can summon things, and I'm just like, okay, summoner classes are a thing in Elsword, so maybe she'd be a summoner class, and she can summon, I don't know what the opposite of a Nephilim would be, but maybe the opposite, or maybe she can summon a Nephilim, or she can summon like a wind nature spirit, or like just nature spirit, or like, yeah, these different spirits or beings to help her out. I think that could work. And again, summoner classes are things Elsword does a lot, so I think Rena getting a summoner class, that'd be interesting. Now Raven. All right, we got the boy Raven. So for Raven, you got physical, magical. So this one is going to be a physical class. I have plenty of ideas for Raven. So my main kind of like idea is that I got it's story wise, right? So story wise, I think this Raven is gonna accept the arm from the get-go. All the other Ravens have all rejected the arms in different ways. FB subjugates the arm, Rage Heart struggles with the arm, but eventually accepts it, but he still struggles with it, and Nova Imperator turns the arm into a weapon. I think he's gonna straight up accept the arm like it was intended to be, like it was intended to kind of take control of him. I think it's gonna go down that route. And you see how the arm starts off as mechanical? It doesn't, like, it only stays mechanical on Nova because he kind of like changes it. But like Rage Hearts, he conflicts with it, so it stays mechanical for a little bit, but then it mutates because he like rejects it and things like that. And then FB obviously rejects it and it stays as normal. But I think if it expanded this kind of mechanical design and kept going, maybe it like covers his whole body. And I honestly think, going with the physical line, right, that the arm itself would either, because you know how the arm is different every time, I think the arm itself will either become a blade, or maybe it has like a hidden blade that kind of pops out, or it's like an energy blade kind of thing, you know, with like, if you guys have ever seen, if you guys saw the trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 5, hold on a second, main character for Shin Megami Tensei 5, okay, let me see if I can find it. There we go, here we go. Maybe less feminine design, but here we go right here. This kind of like energy blade that kind of comes out of your hand. Maybe could come out in the sword arm. I think maybe that would be cool. Yeah, but that's just kind of the route that I think Raven will go, because it works with the physical kind of route, and it works with this story kind of thing, because none of these Ravens have ever just straight up accepted the arm from the get-go and just watched the arm's true evolution. It's always been influenced by Raven, but watching the arm's true evolution, I think, would be something really interesting and really cool for Raven. Alright, next up we got Eve. I think this is gonna be the toughest for me to figure out, because I don't know much about Eve. We got Code Ultimate physical, no, magical actually. Ultimate's magical, Essentia's physical, Sario's magical. So this is gonna be a physical class for Eve. I don't really know. I really don't know, because Ultimate is already kind of like that whole she creates weapons. So I just don't know what direction she would go. In terms of a story, I bounced the idea in my head about like she becomes a real human through some like magical means, like whether it's like the L lady or like whatever, just some magic that they can create. That she becomes human. That's the best thing I could think of. In terms of like gameplay, nothing. I'm really just drawing a blank. I really don't know what she could do as like a physical kind of Eve. Sorry about that. I just don't have any ideas for her. Maybe you guys have some ideas in the comments, but I couldn't think of anything. Okay. So next up we got Chung. Chung has physical, magical, and then magical. So this is going to be a physical class. I think this Chung is going to be a physical DPS, because CC already has that kind of like super support role kind of going on, and Centurion does as well. And then FP kind of has like a mix of support and DPS. I think he's going to be like a pure DPS, just straight up DPS Chung. Not that Cent doesn't have DPS, but you know what I mean, he's like a mix. But I think he's gonna be pure. And you know how like with the different Chung jobs, the cannon kind of grows into like these different like forms. For example, like Comet Crusader just keeps that kind of classic kind of design. It's a lot chunkier. And then like Fatal Phantom, for example, it's a lot more slender. Well, Cannon isn't even in the art, but let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, okay, here we go. So the cannon's like a lot more slender. It looks like kind of like a sniper rifle kind of thing going on. That's the idea with it. And then Centurion has like the biggest cannon, obviously. And then it has the things with the double openings because he has the double shelling thing. I think the cannon design will be a lot more like, I don't want to say bladed, but that's the best way I can say it, is like bladed. I think it's going to be a lot like sharper, bladed, very slender cannon, because I think it's going to have a lot of combos or just moves with just swinging the cannon and not so much the cannonballs. Just like swinging the cannon and like doing things with the cannon, making it more of like a weapon. Instead of like a cannon, it's more of like using it as a physical weapon like he does in the Z combos. I think that's going to be the focus of this character. Yeah, that's pretty much my idea there. In terms of story, I don't know. I don't know where he goes with this story. I don't know much about Chung story-wise. Okay, for Aura. So we got physical, magical, physical. So this is gonna be a magical Aura. We do have a bit of a hint for Aura. I'm not too educated on Hindu gods, but all the auras are actually based on Hindu gods. They got changed in NA for whatever reasons. But if you go down here, you can check the original name of them. So in KR, she's called Aspara is called Vishnu. I think Devi is called like Brahma. There you go. And Shakti is called like Shiva. There you go, Shiva. I think a lot of people know Shiva from like Final Fantasy and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of the line and the kind of route that you can take. Like I said, I'm not too educated on that stuff, so I don't know many of the Hindu gods. So, but she's gonna definitely be based on that. So I guess that's like one thing that you can draw from that. So if you have that knowledge, if you guys have that knowledge, maybe you know what kind of route she would take. I looked it up a bit earlier, and I saw some names that were kind of familiar to me, because like I played Final Fantasy. I mean, not Final Fantasy. I played Persona, and Persona has a lot of them. Like I saw things like Ganesha, like the elephant guy. Maybe like the one with like the multiple hands. Like the one thing I can think of is like the Hindu god with like the multiple hands. So maybe the magical aura will magically create like extra hands for her to do extra things with, like extra weapons, maybe kind of thing like that, you know what I mean? Like she magically creates these extra hands to do like to have like either different weapons or they all have spears, things like that. I think that'd be really, really interesting for Aura, and it'll again keep in line. It'll keep in line with kind of the theme. All right, the next one is Elesis. So we got physical, Flame Lord's magical, Bloody Queen is physical. We got a magical Elesis. I think this one's really obvious. We saw Elboy earlier. I think obviously this Elesis will be based on the L Lady. Do they have like an article for the L Lady here? I think it's just so, well, yeah, obviously Hernia is the L Lady. I was just wondering if they had like anything else that I could see. Anyway, I think it's gonna be based on the L Lady. We saw Elesis kind of do L Lady stuff in the ending of Lanox, where she sealed the god there in the last dungeon of Lanox. I'm gonna look at it as I talk about it. I think in terms of things that she will do, that class will do, I think she'll be a healer. It just makes sense to me. The L Lady like being a support character, and she kind of keeps in line with Elboy, but being a little bit different, because that's kind of Lesis's thing, for better or for worse, is she's just like, she's pretty close to Elboy, but a little bit different. So I think she's gonna be a support just like Elboy, but instead of being a tank support, she's gonna be a healer support. It doesn't even show it here. Anyway, but yeah, so I think I think that one's just obvious. It's just, yeah, L Lady stuff. They hinted about it earlier. She's gonna be a healer. She might get the actually she might get the kind of like white hair thing that is that an L Lady thing, or is that just a Hernia thing? I think it's just a Hernia thing. Oh no, yeah, she has gray hair. Yeah, so I think Elesis might get this kind of like white hair with the aqua kind of tips. So that'd be cool if you guys are into that type of hair for Elesis. So yeah, I think this is the most solid. This is the most solidified thing, is my guess for the Elesis. Okay, so now for the ads. We got Doombringer is magical, Dominator is physical, Mad Paradox is magical. So this will be a physical ad. physical ad. So for this one, I didn't have any guesses. But I was watching a streamer known as Frost Crystal. If you guys know him or seen him in game, I was watching a streamer called Frost Crystal, and he was talking about these. And his guess for ad was really good. He said ad would be a healer, and he would be a healer that like use kind of nanomachines, kind of like the nanomachines to heal people and support people. I think that's a pretty good guess. I mean that could easily be a physical magical class, and then it just it can't be physical. So yeah, I think that'd be a pretty cool thing, using his technology more to support people instead of his own kind of own selfish desires. I think would be a good story thing for ad, just because I think the other paths are kind of like his like normal demeanor, where he's like he's pretty selfish and just like does things for his own benefit. But him being like more of a guy that just wants to help people, I think that'd be an interesting thing for his story to take. And then the nanomachine things, that's just easy, like that's magical technology, things like that. And I think it'd be a healer too, so it'd be another healer in the game. So I think it covers a lot of really good bases there. But yeah, there you go. That's what I now believe ad will be. Pretty simple. Alright, here we go. We got Luciel next. Catastrophe's physical, Innocence magical, and Diangelion is physical. So that means this Luciel will be a magical class. So I have my theory on what this will be. I don't know if people would agree with me because of how much it would change the character, but I think it'd be really cool if they fuse together, like straight up fuse together. Either that's their like combination skill, or that's just something like default to them that they just kind of fuse. I just think that'd be really cool, and like in the fuse state they can't like switch or anything like that, but you can use any skill. You can literally use any skill, and maybe you'll have like certain buffs with it, and they could just make it a dynamic and things like that. I don't know what they would do specifically, but I think the concept of them actually fusing into one being, instead of being Lu and Seal, they fuse into Luciel. They just straight up fuse into Luciel. I think that would be super, super cool. And then people wondering, well, what about like Stomp and Flick Shot, like these skills? I think Luciel can just use both of them. Like maybe the animations look a little bit weird. And they were talking about like, oh man, what about the weapons and things like that? Like I think maybe they would have straight up all new combos, or again, it's their combination skill, and then their combos are different inside that combination skill when they fuse together. Another theory I heard from my friend Epi is that they would switch the dynamic between them, like their personalities would maybe like switch with each other. So Lu would be the butler kind of character and the supporting one, and Seal would be like the demon lord, giving orders to Lu. I think that's pretty cool too. I like both these ideas. Either they're fusing into one, or their dynamics switch. Either the dynamic switch, the personality switch, or something like that. I think both those ideas are cool. I would like to see both of them in Seal. In terms of what they would do, like gameplay wise, I'm not sure. I don't really have any guesses. Yeah, but story wise, those are my guesses. Is either a combination or they kind of switch personalities. Alright, so we got Rose here. Rose already has a fourth path, but if we go back to this video, I want to show you guys something. Okay, this is the Elboy video. So when they're showing off these classes, right, they show third line, and when they show third line, let me show you guys something. Here you go. Check that out. They put Minerva and PO in the same box. I don't know why. I don't know if they count both these guys as third path or what have you, or they just did it in this video to just, for clarity's sake, could be because they don't really have a fourth path kind of screen showing all the silhouettes. They just have that, and that's it. I mean, they just have like, okay, fourth path is coming out, and that's about it. The Quattuor. So I don't know. I've heard musings of people who actually play DFO saying that DFO actually does have fifth path because they had a fifth path Slayer or something like that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything about DFO. So I don't know. Maybe Rose would have a fifth path. If she did, like I don't have any guesses what it would be. I've heard some people talk about, again in Frost Crystal stream, I heard people talk about like a bow gun, like maybe she do a bow gun, but I don't know, it just doesn't make sense because like she has all 4 gun types and each path lines up with a gun type, and that was kind of the consistent theme. So having a fifth path, like would the fifth path be just centered around all the gun path? Like maybe they like the best thing I could think of is that, right, where does it show it off like her kind of unique system here in the, yeah, like You got the heavy barrel, you got the revolver, you got the, I don't know what this is. I don't know what these guns are. Oh yeah, revolver, musket, auto gun. There we go. So we got the cannon, auto gun, musket, and revolver. Like, would it be centered around all of them? Like, she has skills for all these different weapons, and like she's just kind of good with all of them and has skills for all of them. Maybe that would be like kind of a fifth path type of thing. Maybe that's the best thing I could think of. But yeah, I'm the least confident in Rose for getting a path. Just because she already has a fourth path because of DFO. So giving her a fifth path I think would be very awkward. I think what would be better for Rose if she just kind of gets like a soft reboot, because Rose is very jank. Very, very jank according to a lot of Rose players I've spoken to. So I think that might be better for Rose. Anyway, moving on. We got Ain here. So Richter, physical, Blue Hand, magical, and Hersher. I actually don't know what Hersher is. He physical? I legit don't know. I just realized I don't have no idea what Hersher is. Let me see. Magical. Okay, he's magical. Magical. Okay, so the fourth path will be physical. I don't know, guys. I really don't. Like, the only thing I can think of is that, and it sounds weird, but is that like he dethrones the goddess and becomes the new one? Like, he just dethrones Ishmael, or just I don't know, because he already has a path where he likes humans. He has a path where he is Ishmael's servant. He has a path where he rejects Ishmael and goes towards Haner. Like, I really don't know where they're gonna take Ain. I really don't know where they take Ain. Like, yeah, I just don't know. Like, everything I can think of, I'm just like, what if he does a path where, like, he's never remembered by the L gang, and like, well, no, okay, maybe that's something. Maybe he's never remembered by the L gang, and then gets a whole new appearance, and then he's like completely different. I don't know. I really don't know what they would do with Ain. Maybe you guys have something. In terms of his gameplay, like, I don't know what another physical Ain would do, because this Ain already has, like, the projection type of thing. Maybe they would do more things with, like, his pendulum being kind of like a whip weapon, and they focus on the fact that, like, instead of it creating things, like creating swords and stuff, maybe it's, like, straight up, like, more like a whip. I don't know. That's the best thing I can think of. Ain's gonna be hard for them, I think, to come up with something, and I'd be very interested to see what they come up with, because I really don't have any clue. Maybe you guys have something. Okay, here we got Laby. We got physical, magical, and a physical again, so this will be a magical Laby. I actually have a pretty good not like a good idea as in I know what's gonna happen, but I have a good guess that I think I like. Well, I think that's good. So I think they're gonna go maybe full on the mirror thing. What do I mean by that? I think this Laby will be a magical DPS Laby, and then she fires out projectiles or lasers or things like that through the mirror. And then that she puts mirrors around her, or she bounces those lasers off the mirrors, like hit different things. So like for example, right? Laby fires off a laser and it goes inside the mirror, and then maybe she creates a portal behind the enemy, on top of the enemy, under the enemy, and then it fires through that, and it's a lot bigger. And then like maybe she has a skill where she fires a laser forward, and then it bounces off one mirror, bounces off another mirror, bounces off another mirror, and then it has like really good range because it's bouncing a bunch. And it'd be really good damage too. I think that'd be cool. You know, the other Laby is a healer. Nisha's kind of like this weird DPS kind of support, and then ETW is kind of full-on DPS. I think it'd be cool to have a DPS magical Laby, and yeah, like more go full-on with like the mirror to either like teleport things, or maybe it reflects things, or maybe it creates things more, kind of going with the idea of like splashy and things like that, like down that route. Or Andromeda, because I like how Andromeda teleports you. I think that'd be cool. I really think that'd be cool. Yeah, that's my guess for Laby. And finally, we got Noah. Liberator is physical, Celestia is magical, and Nyx is physical. So this will be a magical Noah. Again, I don't know what they're gonna do with Noah. He's so new. He's just so new that I don't know kind of much about his character. And in terms of his kit, it feels like he has everything. He has DPSs in there, he has healers in there, he has like tank things in each of the different classes. So I don't know what direction he would take. The closest hint I have is with his moon system, because of the way it works, right? It does like here we go, moonlight system. It does like full moon, half moon, and then, well, whatever. You know what I mean? Full dark moon. It's called like new moon, I think, right? Whatever. New moon, full moon, and then the half moons, right? The only other thing I can think of, right? Because when you think about the moon, the only thing they're missing is the crescent moon. So that's the best thing I can think of, is that he's gonna do something with the crescent moon. What does that mean for the system? Maybe it's like a half combination of like half moon and new moon, or half moon and full moon, where you get benefits from both, but they're not as strong as their originals. Maybe that could be interesting with the idea of the crescent moon, but that's the only thing I can really think of, is that this Noah will be about his crescent moon, or doing something like that. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know. I really don't know. Just because again he is so new. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is all the characters. That's where my theories are, at least for each of these paths. I'd be very interested to hear what your guys' theories are for these fourth paths. I think it's gonna be very exciting to kind of like theorize what they're gonna be, how they're gonna play, like what's their story gonna be, and as they're released, just kind of being able to see them in action. So KR is gonna get this guy July 8th, and we are very nicely back to 4 weeks behind, so that means we're gonna get the new Elboy path 1, 2, 3, 4, either late July 28th, or August the 4th. Either of those days, we will get this Elboy and be able to rock out with him. I think it'll be very fun. Yeah, fourth path is coming out. It's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see what they do with a lot of these characters. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked the video, and peace out.